Chairperson, Honorable MP Rajya Sabha Chumoukedima, National Executive Member BJYM Shri Arvindji, State Prabhari in charge of Nagaland, Yuva Shri Animesh Biswasji, State Yuva President Shri Hoshitoji and your colleagues, all the Yuva district presidents and your colleagues, my beloved party members, and my friends from the press fraternity. I thank the State Yuva for giving me the opportunity to grace the occasion today, and on behalf of the Deputy Chief Minister of Nagaland, Shri Y. Petanji, and all the 12 of us, we greet you on this meaningful day, the State Executive Meeting of Yuva Morcha. We are very fortunate and with pride, I must say that we are part of the world's largest political party, the Bharatiya Janata party. We are different. We are one political family now, and it is only the Bharatiya Janata party which can unite the country in terms of governance, in terms of social values, with huge diversities in this great nation, and it is the endeavor and the vision of our party to see that this country is united for peace, progress, and prosperity of this nation. Today, if you see the leadership of our country, headed by Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, his commitment, his devotion, his sincerity for the growth and development of this country is unparalleled. Ever since independence, if you look back at the performance of the various national political parties which has ruled the country and the governance, it is only the Bharatiya Janata Party and undoubtedly our most beloved Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, who has delivered goods and services to this nation. We are celebrating 8th year of Seva this year. We have conveyed and delivered the programs and policies of the Bharatiya Janata Party government, headed by Honorable Prime Minister, in all the districts in the state. Now we have 16 districts in the state. You all are aware that the Honorable Prime Minister's government in this country is recognized globally, not because of the bhajans, but because of the developmental activities performed and implemented on ground. You all are aware that Honorable Prime Minister has been recognized globally as the world's tallest leader. Because of his developmental policies, economic policies, grassroots-oriented developmental programs, and many other social and economic issues which has brought him to the forefront. And he has been accorded as the most influential and the most progressive global leader, rating him at #1 across the globe. It's a huge pride for all of us. We bow down in modesty. We thank Almighty God for His leadership in leading our great nation and showing the way to the global community. When he talks about Atmanirbhar Bhavan, Atmanirbhar Bharat, during the hard times in the last 2 years, when the world was hit by pandemic, the best governments in the world, the best democracies in the world, were taken aback because nobody expected that this pandemic will have a huge impact on humanity. Hundreds of lakhs of people have died because of this pandemic. Millions of families have suffered. Lakhs and crores of jobs has been, misplaced. People became disoriented across the globe. There was a shortage of vaccinations. In the process, a lot of health workers and doctors gave the supreme sacrifices while performing their duties. In such times, our country, more than 20 crore vaccinations were manufactured by our companies in the country under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister of India. Many were given to 40-50 countries, including African countries. Our vaccination went global, saved many lives, and we got recognition of the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister of India. And today, we are part of the same family, from the Bharatiya Janata Party family. We are interested in politics of development, not for self-benefit. This party is about what we can give to our nation. I am speaking as a Karyakarta, as a member of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and not as a mantri. Without party, we cannot govern. Without party manifesto, we cannot deliver to the people. And today, I'm very proud to say, with a very strong base, with great leaders, holding the fort of our party, I'm confident enough that we will deliver more to the citizens of this great nation. Today, if you see what Honorable Prime Minister's government has done in this country, when he talked about the programs and policies which you're already aware, but you must know the fundamental policies of this government. In the last 8 years, what has been done? As a party Karyakarta, we all have to be aware, because we'll have to convey the message to the citizens of this country. How we have delivered and how we have performed under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi ji. The basic requirement of human life, you all know, is to have access to sanitation and related issues. This most crucial issue was formulated and implemented by Prime Minister Modi in the first tenure, Modi 1 government, after 2014. All villages in this country, all districts, all subdivisions involving the administrative officers, baseline survey was taken by the government of India under the leadership of PM Modi, and sanitation facilities was given to all the villages under the program called Swachh Bharat mission. You must know all these very important programs of Prime Minister Modi. This was his pet program in the Modi tenure 1. It was successful. People needed a clean sanitation facilities. People were defecting, open defecation on the fields, perhaps on the roads at night, especially for our women folk in the villages and our mothers who had no such facilities prior to 2014. They had facilities, perhaps, but not on the large mass scale. Their lives, their health has improved by these facilities given to them in the family. A lot of risks were involved while doing such activities in the open. A lot of crime rate has been reduced in the rural places, which you and I think we are not aware. We will not be aware. But if you see the data, how secure our life of our women and children have become. Their health was our primary concern. Our mothers, our women folks, who heads the household, who runs the family, who runs the kitchen. So definitely this had improved the quality of life of our women folks in the rural habitations. This was only possible because of the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, and many other related developmental programs were taken up. The second most important program was in the health sector. You are all aware what Honorable Prime Minister had said, and he had introduced a movement called Fit India movement. Government under the leadership of PM envisions that to grow socially, economically, to have peace and progress, the health of the nation should be fit. Meaning you and I should be fit. Everybody should be fit. Then only you can contribute to your work. You can attend to your work in whatever responsibility you may be assigned there. And therefore, keeping in view and taking into consideration all these parameters, and also keeping in view the health risks of our children, of our elderly people, who are very fragile to the climatic conditions, food habits and lifestyles that we are practicing now. A scheme called a medical coverage, a scheme called Ayushman Bharat was introduced. Why? Because, as I said, health was one of the most and important and primary concerns of the government. Many did not have access to medical facilities, or many could not afford to avail medical interventions. And also, if you see the price challenges of medicines, when unfortunately you confront with dreadful diseases. Keeping all these things in view, a medical coverage scheme was introduced. 5 lakh rupees per household, per family. Was assured, many have benefited from this medical coverage in this country, including the state of Nagaland. It is a very simple procedure. You have to enroll yourself with your medical officer in your jurisdiction, in your sub-health centers or community health centers under the subdivisions, and district hospitals in the districts. You have to go there. There's a health worker in each village. You have to enroll yourself. That is the procedure. And be forwarded to the medical officers of your area, of your jurisdiction, posted by the government. So, rupees 5 lakhs, whether you take the facility from Nagaland, or whether you are in Delhi, or whether you are in Maharashtra, or whether you are in Assam, you will be given a card by the government. There will be empaneled hospitals through the state governments. And when I say empaneled, many of you are aware, but it is like a contract. It is like an agreement. State government will tie up with hospitals in the various states in the country. So you will have the empaneled lists of hospitals approved by the government. There you can use your card. It will be digital transaction. You will not get money, but it will be transferred. Your expenditures will be given by the government up to the tune of 5 lakhs. Many are suffering from very expensive diseases like transplant, like cancer, and many other dreadful ailments which are confronting humanity and which are very expensive to treat. So these are the very important programs of the Honorable Prime Minister of India. Saving lives. He envisions that nations should be healthy and fit to perform and to serve one another for progress and prosperity. Likewise, under his leadership, many women have joined the mainstream. It is not because they are incompetent, but opportunities were not given as expected. Today, if you see in the governance, whether it is at the central level or state level, or panchayati level, village council level, or VDB level, we have women representing our villages, our ranges, our districts, and our state. Former speakers have already said about certain schemes which has been introduced very recently. If you see the Agnipath, what is the Honorable Prime Minister talking about? When he talks about women empowerment, women is going to be an equal partner in this scheme, in the armed forces, in the navies, in the air forces. Our women will be at the forefront now. We will have commissioned officers, giving due share to both the sexes. When did it happen? It only happened under the leadership and during the time of Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, and that is after 2014. So this is the 8th year. Many schemes are in the pipeline, so we'll have to convey the message to the citizens of our state. I'm very happy and express my profound gratitude to all the Yuva in charges from the various districts who have come for this program. It will only be good if the Yuva can take the responsibility and a little effort which you have already been putting, if we can make a magazine suiting our taste, because many would not understand the magazines which are published from the headquarters. But what was done in Nagaland, what is happening across the country, what schemes are going to be introduced, if we can print that locally in our own language, tribal language. English everybody understands, we know. But majority of the people in the rural areas, they don't read English. And so they don't read Hindi. They can't read Hindi as well. And therefore, if we can print it in our own dialect, the programs and policies of the BJP government headed by Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, in our own dialect, and if we deliver to all the districts, I think it will give a huge push, impetus to our Bharatiya Janata Party, to our government at the center and even in the state. So these are the things I wanted to share with all of you. Many things to say, but I will conclude by saying whatever I have shared with all of you. And for the progress of our party, whether it is in the state or in the Yuva. I will always be available for the progress of our party. Personally, I want to see that our party should grow strength to strength with each passing day. Very soon, we may face the general election to the Nagaland Vidhan Sabha. And therefore now it is time for us to put effort and go back to our people. We have many things to convey to our people, but if we don't convey to them, they would not know the value of our party. And therefore, this is my earnest request to all the Karyakartas, including myself, that we should go back to the people. It is about time, and we are all there together to see that our party is strengthened in the state. Thank you all for this great time, and wish to see you again very soon.